Welcome to Messages from the Universe with Laurie Wondra. Laurie is an internationally renowned psychic medium, author, and shamanic practitioner, sharing insights from angels, guides, wisdom keepers, and teachers of the universe that help you navigate life's mysteries and transformations.
Hello, I am Laurie Wondra, and thank you for listening. I'm actually pretty excited about today's topic. I want to talk about the Robe of Light. That's this luminous field that we already live within. Now, there are moments in life when we feel something that reaches beyond the boundaries of our physical body. We might feel this quiet sense of protection that appears during difficult times. We might feel or sense a calm presence that wraps around us when we're in the midst of grief or in moments of awe, just standing before a sunrise, maybe hearing some music that touches our soul or witnessing an act of profound kindness. We may feel expanded, as if our being stretches far beyond the physical skin that we're contained within. We sense and feel the energy beyond us. Now, most people have experienced these moments at least once, yet many dismiss them very quickly, assuming they were simply emotional reactions or a fleeting sensation. We tend to deny or reason away those things we cannot explain. But across thousands of years of human history, mystics, shamans, contemplatives, and healers have described these experiences in remarkably similar ways. They speak of a subtle living field of light that surrounds and interpenetrates the human body. A luminous presence that both protects and connects us. Now, some traditions call that our light body, and others refer to it as the garment of glory, or the luminous field, or the subtle body, or even the soul cloak. But today, I want to explore this ancient idea through what many traditions have called the Robe of Light, the radiant field of consciousness that you already live within. This aura around you, this light that I see when I look at individuals. This concept is not meant to be mystical poetry alone. It carries profound practical value, especially in times of stress, uncertainty, or emotional upheaval. I tell clients, when I look at you, if I really focus on your auric field, you look like a Christmas tree. And my job is to look for those lights that are burnt out, or those that are flickering, or those that just feel out of place. And remember that we're not only physical beings, but we're also luminous ones that can restore a sense of peace and calm and love and coherence. The astral beings describe us as these brilliant lights that they see, actually not acknowledging our human form so much as our essence of light. So when life feels overwhelming, remembering this robe of light, it's not an escape from reality. It actually is a return to our deepest foundation within. It's a knowing of more than who we think we are. Now, the robe of light can be understood as the original energetic body through which consciousness inhabits physical form. Before personality formed, before life experiences shaped identity, before conditioning, trauma, and beliefs layered themselves over our perception of the world, this luminous field was already present. It moves through every aspect of our being, every cell of our body, every nerve pathway, every breath that we take, every emotional memory we carry. It extends beyond the surface of the skin, not as a rigid barrier, but as this dynamic field of living awareness. Modern science has begun to recognize aspects of this subtle reality. The human heart generates a measurable electromagnetic field extending several feet beyond our body. The brain and nervous system communicate constantly through electrical pulses, and the body itself is a living, energetic system. When we die, our energy field transforms into another electrical field. And ancient wisdom traditions understood this intuitively. They described the human being not only as flesh and bone, but as a body of light inhabiting matter. While we're here, we inhabit our physical body, but we're pure light. So this perspective changes maybe how we understand ourselves. We're not physical bodies searching for spiritual experience. We're spiritual beings learning how to live fully inside a body. And the Robe of Light is the energetic interface where these two dimensions meet. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Robe of Light is how consistently it appears in spiritual teachings across cultures. In Kabbalistic mysticism, the soul wears garments of light as it descends into form. In Gnostic Christianity, ancient writings describe the soul forgetting its radiant robe and needing to remember its original luminous nature. In Egyptian teachings, the Akh represents the perfected luminous body cultivated through the alignment with truth and cosmic order. In many shamanic traditions, the human being is surrounded by a luminous field that carries memory, identity, and fragments of soul experience. So despite vast differences in geography and culture, the central message remains remarkably consistent. Human beings were once understood to be clothed in light. And I might test this or disagree, but I see the light around individuals. And many traditions describe the fall from grace not as moral failure, but as forgetfulness, forgetting that they are of the light. Humanity forgets its luminous origins and begins to believe it's merely physical matter. We're more than our physical bodies. This shift in identity changes everything. When we forget the Robe of Light, we begin to live from fear, separation, and survival. But when we remember it, we begin to live from connection, coherence, presence, and curiosity. The Robe of Light is not something we earn. It's something we remember. It's something that is our birthright. It's something that is part of us. It's something that doesn't go away. It's there. And like anything in life, once you register it, you can't unsee it. Once you learn something, you can't unlearn it or unknow it. It's always there. The Robe of Light is not passive. It's an active field, constantly interacting with the body. And I see this when I look at individuals. This luminous field communicates with our nervous system, the heart's electromagnetic field, the endocrine system, our breath, and our emotional memory. When the Robe of Light is coherent and flowing, the body tends to experience a sense of inner safety, emotional resilience, and clearer intuition, a calm and a focused mind. So in this state, the mind becomes actually a servant to awareness rather than its ruler. But when this field becomes fragmented or constricted, the experience of life changes dramatically. And this is when people feel chronically exhausted, emotionally overwhelmed, energetically exposed and raw, and certainly disconnected from their sense of self. Modern life and everyday occurrences place enormous pressure on the human nervous system. Constant stimulation, digital overload, emotional isolation, and ongoing stress can create fragmentation in our energetic field. Healing, therefore, is not only psychological, it's energetic. Healing involves reweaving coherence within our robe of light. Trauma and the dimming of our light is a real thing. Trauma affects far more than memory or emotion. It also affects the luminous field that surrounds and permeates the body. Experiences such as grief, abandonment, prolonged stress, or shock can cause the robe of light to contract or thin. We feel raw. We feel naked. We feel uncovered as we face the world. This contraction of our energy field is not a failure. It's a protective response. And the body learns to reduce energetic openness in order to survive overwhelming circumstances. Now, many people describe this experience with phrases like, I don't feel like myself anymore. I feel disconnected, or I feel exposed or unprotected. Sometimes I feel numb or distant from life. These are not signs of weakness. Far from it. We're strong. These are signs that the light has learned to withdraw in order to protect itself, to conserve energy or reserve its light. Healing is not about forcing brightness. It's about restoring safety. When the nervous system begins to feel safe again, the robe of light naturally expands, and light returns not because we force it, but because the body remembers how to hold it. Now, the difference between the aura and the robe light is that many people are familiar with the concept of the aura. The aura is a responsive, energetic field that reflects emotions, environmental influences, and interactions with others. It's very versatile and very agile, and it ebbs and flows with the energy that it interacts with. It shifts constantly. Now, the robe of light is more foundational. A useful metaphor may be something like this. The aura is like the weather, and the robe of light is like the sky itself. Storms pass through the sky, but the sky remains vast and unchanged. Likewise, emotional states may rise and fall, yet the deeper luminous field beneath them remains present. Remembering this distinction can also bring profound comfort. When life becomes turbulent, we do not need to fix ourselves, and we don't certainly need to think of ourselves as broken. We only need to remember that beneath the storms of emotions and the circumstances we might be experiencing, our luminous sky remains intact. Across cultures, sound has long been used to restore energetic balance. Drumming, chanting, toning, singing bowls, sacred music. These are all tools in my tool belt, and they've been there forever. These practices affect the nervous system directly. Rhythm brings the body into coherence. Breath deepens and slows. So as the nervous system settles, the robe of light reorganizes itself. Breath is one of the most direct bridges between body and consciousness. When breath becomes natural and steady, the energetic field stabilizes. This is not the superficial breath. This is a deep breath. Because when that breath becomes natural and steady and deep, our energetic field stabilizes. We feel grounded. And when stability returns, light flows more freely. There's nothing for it to battle against. During a period in my life when awareness was expanding rapidly, where insights and dreams and messages seemed to arrive day and night, I had a dream that stayed with me in a way that felt deeper than just an ordinary dreaming state. In the dream, I was standing in a line with other people. There was a quiet sense that something important was happening, though no one explained it. And when it was my turn, I was handed a stack of clothing made of simple white cotton. The fabric was soft and pure and really uncomplicated. It felt very ceremonial, as if I had been given something very incredibly meaningful. I stepped aside with my arms full of this white clothing, assuming the process was complete. But before I could leave, someone stopped me and gently redirected me to another line. And when I reached the front of the second line, I was asked to hand over all my white garments that I had just received. But in exchange, I was given a much larger stack of clothing. This time, the clothing was in every color imaginable. Vibrant colors, not just ordinary colors. Vibrant hues, shimmering tones, and radiant shades, some I'd never seen before. And the colors seemed alive. There was a quiet understanding that something had changed, and somehow I had earned this new collection of garments, though no one explained how. And what struck me most when I woke was not just the beauty of the colors, but the feeling that accompanied them. I didn't reach for a favorite color because I loved them all. And over time, the meaning of that dream began to unfold. In many spiritual traditions, white represents pure, undifferentiated light, the original state of consciousness before experience shapes it. It's pure. White light contains all colors within it, but they remain unified and unexpressed. Receiving the white garments symbolized the original robe of light, but being redirected suggested something more. The white light was not being taken away from me, it was being expanded into expression. The vibrant colors represented the many ways consciousness learns to live through our human experience. Each color carries a quality of life: compassion, courage, creativity, wisdom, joy, patience, truth. I often think of this dream and the ascended masters and the rays of light that they carry. Spiritual awakening, then, is not about returning to a single pure state of light. It's about learning to embody the full spectrum of that light. Awakening is not becoming less human, it's becoming more fully alive within the human experience. Now, many seekers imagine enlightenment as a return to quiet purity, but life rarely unfolds that way. Instead, we move through many colors of experience: love and heartbreak, joy and grief, clarity and confusion, strength and vulnerability. Each experience adds another thread to the robe of light, and over time the garment becomes richer, more textured, and more radiant. Growth does not remove our humanity, it deepens it. Now, one detail from that dream remains particularly meaningful to me, yet to this day. There was no single color I preferred. I couldn't tell you I had a favorite color in that dream or one stood out more than the other, because I loved them all. When we're stressed or fragmented, we tend to resist certain parts of our life. We want joy and not sadness. We want strength and not vulnerability. We want clarity and not uncertainty. Yet the soul is not limited to one color. It contains the entire spectrum. Peace does not come from eliminating certain experiences. It comes from learning to hold them within a larger field of awareness. When we remember the robe of light, even difficult emotions become part of the greater tapestry rather than something we fight against. The rainbow becomes whole only when every color is allowed to exist. And the robe of light does not ask us to transcend our humanity. It invites us to inhabit it fully. We're not here to escape our body. We're here to allow light to live within it. And when we remember this luminous presence, everyday life becomes infused with quiet sacredness. Walking outside, holding someone's hand, listening deeply, breathing fully. Each moment becomes an opportunity to live as a radiant being in an ordinary world. And the robe of light does not separate us from others. It actually connects us. The more we remember our own light, the more easily we recognize it in those around us. Our presence becomes calmer. Our words become kinder. Our actions become more aligned with love. So the robe of light, this warm feeling, this energy that you sense around you, has never left you. It may have dimmed during some difficult experiences. It may have contracted during some times of fear or stress, but it has always remained and it will always remain present. Like the sky beyond passing clouds, it waits quietly for your attention. You did not need to earn it. You only need to remember it, acknowledge it, see it, experience it. When you pause and breathe, and when you soften your body and allow awareness to expand, you may begin to sense it again. A quiet field of warmth and coherence, a luminous reminder that you are far more than the challenges you face. You are already clothed in light. You are light. And when you remember this truth, your very presence becomes a quiet blessing in this world. I want to thank you for being here in this world. And I want to thank you for listening today. I'm Laurie Wondra of Your Life Core.
Thank you for listening to Messages from the Universe. For information about Laurie Wondra's current events or to schedule a private session, visit her website, yourlifecore.com. You can also subscribe to her monthly newsletter. Laurie also shares inspirational and informational messages on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Thanks again for listening.